All right, today we're diving into something huge in cybersecurity, attack surface management, or ASM for short. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that promises to give you total visibility over your entire digital footprint. But here's the question. If that's the promise, what's the actual reality for the teams on the front lines? This quote right here, it just nails the problem perfectly. In a world of scattered cloud services, remote workers, and countless apps, you really can't see all your potential entry points anymore. And if you can't see them, well, you've got no chance of defending them. And believe me, this one single challenge of visibility has created a monster of an industry. We are talking about a market for these ASM tools that's projected to hit $4.3 billion. All of that money, all chasing a solution to this one fundamental problem.
So what makes this so incredibly difficult? It's because security teams today, they're fighting on a totally new kind of battlefield. It's invisible, and the map is literally changing under their feet every single day. Think about it like this. Your company's digital presence isn't a simple house with a few doors anymore. No, it's this sprawling, ever-expanding estate with thousands of potential entry points that just pop into existence with every new cloud service, every new app, every new employee device. And if you think that's just an analogy, check out the real numbers. They're wild. 92% of companies are using multiple clouds. And get this, a staggering 99%, practically everyone, had an API security incident last year. Every single one of these connections is a potential weak link, and attackers are now using AI to find them in seconds. So, to fight all this chaos, the industry came up with what was supposed to be the ultimate shield for this new battlefield: attack surface management. So what is it? Put simply, ASM promises to be your 24/7 digital security guard, constantly patrolling your entire estate. The idea is that it discovers every door and window, it checks all the locks, and it alerts you to any weaknesses before an intruder can find them. And the shield, this digital guard, it's getting seriously high-tech. We're seeing trends like AI-powered discovery and integration with zero trust. That's the never trust, always verify model. The goal is to see everything, even monitoring the security of your suppliers and partners. Now, this chart, this tells you everything about what businesses actually want from these tools. Just look at that top number. An overwhelming 89% want risk quantification. They don't just want a list of flaws. They want to know the business impact. Right after that, they want actionable guidance. It's all about getting context, not just another alert. Okay, so the promise sounds incredible, right? The tech is getting better and better. So why aren't security teams throwing a party? Well, let's take a look at the view from the trenches. Yeah, because when you talk to the people who are actually using these tools day in and day out, you hear a totally different story. It's a story of deep frustration, this feeling that the promise of ASM just isn't being delivered. Let's break this disconnect down. First up, speed. The promise from vendors is near real-time visibility. The reality, it's often structurally slow. Why? Because a lot of these tools rely on these huge, periodic scans of the internet that can take days. Meanwhile, attackers can find and exploit a new vulnerability in a matter of hours. In this game, that delay is an eternity. Okay, next, visibility. The promise is a complete 360-degree map of your entire attack surface. The reality, though, is that most tools are just good at listing what's visible from the outside, from the internet. They are completely blind to the internal attack paths, like a developer's laptop or a compromised build pipeline, which is where so many modern attacks actually begin. And finally, intelligence. The promise is that AI will deliver these amazing, powerful insights. But the reality is that the AI is brilliant at telling you what is broken, but it's totally clueless about why. It'll find a vulnerable URL, sure, but it can't tell you which human behavior or broken process created it in the first place, which means the same problem is just going to happen again. And that right there, that brings us to the absolute core of the problem. It's this critical gap. Our security tools are obsessed with finding vulnerable assets, but the real problem, the root cause, lies in the human actions that create them. This is exactly why security teams feel like they're just playing a never-ending game of whack-a-mole. The same kinds of vulnerabilities just keep popping up again and again. They're stuck in this reactive loop, patching symptoms because their tools can't see the underlying disease. Let's just walk through a super common story here. It all starts with an action. A developer downloads an unvetted piece of software. That code goes through a process, the automated build pipeline,
And then, days later, a vulnerable asset, a URL, is finally discovered by the ASM tool. But do you see the gap? The tool only sees the very last step, leaving the security team with a problem to fix, but no idea how to stop it from happening again tomorrow. And this really gets to the heart of all that frustration. For a lot of folks in the trenches, what the industry calls attack surface management feels a lot more like external asset listing. It's a really sophisticated list maker that tells you what is vulnerable, but it gives you absolutely no insight into why. So, if making bigger and better lists isn't the answer, what is? Well, it's about a fundamental evolution. We have to move ASM from a tool that just finds symptoms to a system that actually helps us fix the cause. The future, really, is what you might call behavior-based ASM. This is a huge shift in thinking. It changes the focus from a list of assets to the human and automated actions that create risk in the first place. Instead of just scanning for problems days later, it integrates right into the development pipelines, giving immediate feedback to developers and spotting risky patterns before they ever become vulnerabilities. And that leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. When you look at your own security strategy and the tools that you're using, ask yourself this: are they just getting better and better at making lists of problems, or are they actually helping you make a difference in preventing those problems from ever happening again?